I'm here falsely accused for a 21-year-old warrant. And I try to speak, and she acts like Judge Judy. She just constantly cuts you off, is threatening. And if you look at the TV show Judge Judy, this is how she acts, Judge. And I'm just being treated like I'm just a criminal. I'm supposed to be innocent until proven guilty, right? And I would like an investigation as to things that's been going on by the prosecutor's office because Kim Worthy and her subordinates are retaliating against me. There's actual proof. But she has an attitude like Judge Judy. She just cuts you off. And I'm just like, so when she kept doing it, this is when I objected and asked her to recuse herself.
All right, everyone, today we've got one of the most clueless sovereign citizens ever featured on this channel. This man ended up in court again because of an earlier case, where he was supposed to have a preliminary hearing with Judge Martin. But, as expected, he went off on one of those classic sovereign citizen rants. The guy's playing the ultimate victim here, and believe it or not, he even managed to get Judge Martin to step down, claiming she was acting like Judge Judy. Apparently, she kept interrupting him whenever he refused to stop reciting his ridiculous sovereign citizen script. It's beyond embarrassing, you really have to see it to believe it. Tell me in the comments, do you think this guy actually has a valid argument, or is he just completely out of his mind? Let's jump right into it.
Sir.
Colonel Michael McQuarrie, appearing in appropriate persona.
All right. It's my understanding, sir, you filed a motion to have Judge Bryant disqualified from the case. Judge Bryant denied your motion, and essentially your motion was appealed up to the chief judge, which is me. Is that correct, sir?
That's correct.
Okay. Argument.
Well, the argument is, sir, under Michigan Code of Judicial Conduct, the judge is in violation of Canon 1 and 2 because I'm here falsely accused for a 21-year-old warrant. And I try to speak, and she acts like Judge Judy. She just constantly cuts you off, is threatening, so far as be quiet. Canon 2, it says public confidence in the judiciary is eroded by irresponsible and improper conduct by judges. A judge must avoid all impropriety and appearance of impropriety. A judge must expect to be the subject of constant public scrutiny. A judge must therefore accept restrictions on conduct that might be viewed as burdensome by the ordinary citizen and should do so freely and willingly, Judge. And I come into court very respectful. I'm a 51-year-old man and I respect the system. But I'm feeling that I'm being given, disrespect. I'm being silenced. I have a right under the free speech to petition the court for redress of grievances and things of that nature. And if you look at the TV show Judge Judy, this is how she acts, Judge. Totally wrong. And she asked me, what did I want to do with the case? I said, I would like to challenge jurisdiction because I went to prison in '02 for 15 years and 8 months. They had under the rule, I believe for misdemeanors, 40-something days, for felonies is 6 months. So I request that the prosecutor prove its authority in bringing these charges so late. And I have been home 6.5 years, productive in the community, no problems. And I'm trying to do right, Judge. I made past mistakes when I was a young man. And I'm just being treated like I'm just a criminal. I'm supposed to be innocent until proven guilty, right? So I'm not trying to disrupt this court. I'm not trying to cause you guys hardships or anything, things of that nature. And my due process is being violated, Judge. That's all. I want to just get this case so it wouldn't be left alone. I'm a grandfather. I have children. And their DPD has retaliated against me, Judge. And I know this is a Detroit police court. And I would like an investigation as to things that's been going on by the prosecutor's office because Kim Worthy and her subordinates are retaliating against me. There's actual proof.
So basically, this mastermind is saying, look, the prosecutor was just doing their job, trying to send me back to jail, so can you just throw out this whole case? I'm a grandfather, I've got kids, give me a break. Like really, dude, nobody's falling for that. Judges don't hand out mercy just because you've got grandkids. Judge Martin's a solid judge. She wouldn't treat anyone unfairly just because they've got a criminal history. She's there to do her duty, just like everyone else, and her responsibility is to make sure justice is done, not to let someone slide because they're playing the pity card. What do you guys make of this guy? Does he actually have a valid argument, or is he just trying to melt the judge's heart for sympathy? Let's get back into it.
At this point, I don't know if you're familiar with Bill Proctor. He's representing me in this matter and another matter so far as investigations for years of, hardships and tyranny committed against me by the system here in Wayne County. So this is all I want: a fair shake judge, a judge who's going to give me due process and give me what I'm entitled to according to law. And that's it, sir.
Okay. Ms. Ritter, would you like to respond in any way?
Judge, the only response that people have is that this is a case from 2002. It's a misdemeanor assault and battery case. Judge, from my recollection of the prior hearing with Judge Bryant, I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, that it was an arraignment process. And as the court was trying to proceed with the process, I do remember Mr. McCreary interrupting the judge while she was trying to make the record. But the people have not gotten to the point where, because Mr. Carnell was disruptive during the proceedings, the people didn't get to the point where there was another pretrial date set where the people could actually see if we're able to move forward on this 2002 case, Judge.
I have a rebuttal.
Yes.
Okay, Judge, I would like you, if it's possible, I know you guys are on Zoom, so you should have access to recordings of these hearings and things of that nature. I believe that the prosecutor just fabricated facts to you because I was not rude to this lady. All I asked her is, she said, what do you want to be done with this case? I said, I would like to challenge jurisdiction. And Michigan and federal law requires once jurisdiction is challenged, it must be proven. How is it that the prosecutor knows statute of limitations? They're licensed. I'm not licensed. I've studied for years in prison. And they don't know that there's a statute of limitations. This is vindictive prosecution because of my complaints against Kim Worthy, Your Honor. And the record will reflect the evidence. And I object to her statements.
All right. Court having had a chance to hear the arguments of the moving party, as well as the arguments of the prosecutor. The moving party is asking for a recusal or to have Judge Bryant disqualified based on Michigan Canons 1 and 2, based on that she is biased, as well as is not allowing a person to be able to basically argue their case. The moving party is stating that he wants to challenge jurisdiction and that he was not allowed to do so. The prosecutor is stating that there was only a proceeding at an arraignment and that the prosecution hasn't even got to the point where they have established whether they want to move forward with the case, but that was not allowed to happen because in their view, there was disruption in the court and there was a breakdown.
So basically, what I'm hearing is if this guy had just kept quiet and let the judge do her job, she probably would have arraigned him and maybe even dropped the case since it was so old. Like seriously, why is this guy even here right now? What does he think he's getting by interrupting the judge when she was about to help him and dismiss the case? All because he wanted to question her authority. Honestly, these sovereign citizens make things harder for themselves for no reason. It's like trying to talk to a brick wall. What do you guys think of this guy? Because honestly, I don't get why he'd do that. The case was 22 years old, and knowing Judge Bryant, she likely would have dismissed it since it happened ages ago. But of course, these sovereign citizens always think they're smarter than everyone else. Anyway, let's dive back in and see what happens next.
I swear, it's like trying to understand a brick wall. What do you guys think about this guy? Because honestly, I have no idea why he would do that. The case was 22 years old, and knowing Judge Bryant, she would have just dismissed the case because it happened so long ago. But then again, these sovereign citizens always think they're smarter than everybody else, so there's got to be something deeper here. But let's go ahead and dive back in and see the rest of this thing.
The moving party is disputing that. He's saying that I could go to the video or the tapes to dispute that. At this time, the court is not going to make a decision at this point. I am going to pull the tape pull the transcript. I'm going to make a decision very quickly on this. I'm not going to let this continue. And even based on, the court does have an opinion probably on the likelihood of prosecution on a 21-year-old case. So we're going to come back on, excuse me, we're going to come back on July 6th at 10 a.m. Please check your schedule, sir.
May I also, you say July 6th, sir?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
May I also, if I may, Judge?
Check your schedule first. Check your schedule to see are you available for that time.
I'm available. I'm stuck here on tether, sir. I'm available at any time you guys want me to.
Okay. All right. Well, put it on your schedule for 10 o'clock on July 6th.
Okay, can I say one more thing? If you look at Crampton versus Michigan Department of State 395, Michigan 347 at 351, it says the United States Supreme Court disqualified judges and decision makers without a showing of actual bias in situations where experience teaches that the probability of actual bias on the part of the judge or decision maker is too high to be constitutionally tolerable. And I'm not saying like trying to attack Judge Bryant or whatever else, but she has an attitude like Judge Judy. She just cuts you off. And I'm just like, so when she kept doing it, this is when I objected and asked her to recuse herself.
And sir, and again, as the chief judge, I don't have to have a showing of actual bias, but perceived bias, something in the fairness of justice. That is my stand.
Yeah, the chief judge is definitely going to think hard about this one. I mean, seriously, it'll probably take this guy like 2 minutes to realize he was totally in the wrong, acting like a full-on sovereign citizen nut, cutting off the judge, being rude, just making everything worse. This dude really needs to calm down. That's not how it works. I'm sure he thinks the judge was unfair because she didn't let him go, but he didn't even let her finish. She was probably about to drop the case anyway. But yeah, tell me in the comments if you want that video. I'll probably upload the full court clip with Judge Martin later this week, so keep an eye out. These sovereign citizens just can't stop themselves. They think they're above the law and can do whatever they want, and when it all falls apart, it's honestly funny. Like seriously, who do they think they are? They're not winning this. Anyway, let me know what you thought of this one. I'll post the next case soon. Thanks for watching, and appreciate the support. Take care everyone.